Well, Scrabble at the top level, especially in NWL land, has become a young man's sport, and we are going to show you two of Scrabble's finest young men right now. Joey Krafchick and Noah Walton face off in a clash of dudes who could definitely win this thing. Joey now from Mississippi, Noah from up in the Oregon, Portland area. So geographically very isolated, but we're going to see similar play styles from both of these guys in that they both know a lot of words and they both play very, very quickly, or at least they can when the time comes down to it. Both of these guys unscramble words so quickly, they know so many of them, they can be so dangerous when they get good tiles. This is going to be an incredible matchup, and we're excited to bring it here at the Scrabble Players Championship. With that, it looks like we're doing a little bit of clerical work here, but I think as soon as we can get those folks cleared out, we'll get underway and play in our sixth game of Scrabble from South Bend, Indiana. I am Matt Canik, joined in the booth this afternoon by Andy Hoang, and we are going to be bringing you all the Scrabble action right here on twitch.tv/Scrabble. Noah to play first and Joey to respond. Andy, what do you know about either of these players?
Well, both of these players are fantastic, quick players. And I'm going to put a big emphasis on speed. They're going to go very quick. This should be a nice, high-flying, up-tempo game. Don't take a break in the middle of it because this is going to be a fantastic game. I fully expect it to be 490 to 420. That is likely a possibility unless they get boggled down by some tough racks. But both of these guys are, as you mentioned, some of the best players, some of the greatest players in their generation. So this should be a fantastic matchup.
Two just stellar players, two that I could easily see winning this event. Joey, a player who has sort of recreated himself over the years. He used to play a fish-heavy, offensive-minded blitz game, and he has tried to shift more and more towards a defensive style over the past 5 or so years, modeling his game after the late, great David Gibson. Joey trying to brand himself as Gibson 2.0. But Noah to open. Oh, God, I forgot he does this. He turns all of his letters sideways all the time. So we're going to have to get used to this. But Noah to go first. DEJNRUZ, the rack. Jun feels like the very natural opening play. JUN, nice, tight, defensive for Noah. And thank you, you're a saint, Noah. You turned those tiles so they point up, right? I appreciate you. Andy, anything else to discuss on Noah's first turn other than Jun?
Nope. Noah's just going through, making sure there's not a 5-letter word he could play. Then he's just going to put down JUN once he's confirmed that, and he's going to move on. But, first game of a tournament on stream, very understandable for any of these players to just take in a minute, calm those nerves down, and settle in. Don't want to make a mistake by playing too quickly, but I fully expect Noah to play Jun here and move on.
And Jun, indeed, the play for Noah, 20 points for him, and the DERZ leave could certainly give him strong plays next turn, depending on Joey's response. So 20-0, we're off to the races, and CDELMTY, the rack for Joey. Jun does limit the damage he's able to do out of this rack. Melty plays both above or beneath Jun, making UM or MU. It holds CD and scores 18. Mutely, cutely, or mutedly play through the U in Jun instead. And Joey also has the option to make really fun plays like just YUM, YUM, or CUM through the U in Jun if he wants to keep things really tight and closed off and Gibson-esque. Andy, what do you see here?
None of these plays are really going to stand out as far and away superior. And those are the trickiest turns where it feels like there should be a good candidate play, but they're really just a lot of above average plays. And Joey's doing a good job not spending too much time belaboring if this play is better than this play. And I think Melty is one of the better plays. So I agree with his decision here.
So Melty, the decision from Joey. Yum would have been so fun to commentate on the board we end up after that. but Melty, I think, is a totally reasonable option here. Yum and Jun both do not take back S's, so that would have made this game ridiculous. But Melty makes a ton of sense for Joey here as well. And Noah to respond into his DERZ, he's pulled GGW, which is absolutely horrific. I've got bailout options of Wedgie or Dreggy using the Y in Melty, and otherwise not seeing all that much for him. Perhaps GREW, Emu, and When. Andy, between those options, the plays down to the Y or Grew on top, do you have strong opinions about this move?
I like Wedgie just because it scores a bunch and it keeps a fairly flexible rack. So I think this is a good play by Noah. It's the play I would have made. I agree with it. And let's see how quick Joey will spend. How many seconds is he going to spend before he plops down his likely bingo?
Yeah, two bingos play with the E that was exposed for Joey, Medicate, and its anagram Decimate. Each scores 64, and those are the only two bingos available for Joey. No eights, or no nines rather, through MU, no nines through EN. And we'll see which of these Joey opts to play. Well, they're very, very similar plays. Andy, do you know what it means to decimate somebody, or the etymology of that word?
The etymology. I do not know that one. What is it, Matt?
It's a terrible term for what they used to do to prisoners of war. I know Mexico did this to the Texas Army and the Texas Independence, but they would kill 1 in every 10. Decimate. That's where the DECI or DECA means 10 prefix comes from. So decimate. Now it has a pretty different meaning, but it used to be even more tough than it was now. Decimate the bingo for Joey. 64 points puts him ahead, 82 to 46. AAGNRUZ is how Noah looks to respond, and we may see another brutal war word in Nazi coming down to the I in decimate. We may also see WUZ come down from the W in Wedgie. I don't think we'll see anything but one of those two plays, though. Andy, do you like Nazi? Do you like Wuz? Or do you see a third option that I didn't call out here?
I think there's not really any long plays that stand out other than Gazar, but I would not want to keep UN. I like your initial thoughts of Nazi. I would prefer that over Was, but it's possible Noah is thinking about a longer play like Gazar just to turn over some more letters to pull into an S or a blank.
Yeah, this is a tricky term. Gazar, Gazar, plays beneath decimate, and I would like to try to get rid of more of these tiles if I could, but this play I think just too much to pass up for Noah. Nazi for 39 gives him the lead despite Joey's bingo, 85 to 82, and Joey's post bingo draw leaves a lot to be desired on his end. DOORRQS. Though he has drawn the D he needs for decimated and wastes no time making what looks like his top option of rude for 35, holding QRS. AAEEGRU, the rack now for Noah. Oh my God, he has an absolutely beautiful play here. It's not stellar on the scoreboard, but stellar in my heart for what it does. Oh my goodness.
Yes, he does have a fantastic several tire overlap that is going to score at least 25 for Noah. He may be tempted to play that, or he may opt to play something shorter up at the top right-hand corner with the R in rude, like urea or ore.
Yeah, when your opponent puts the R in that space, it's natural to want to move right up there and try to take it away. Urea, UREA, or ORE make perfect sense for Noah to make, but the beautiful option is re-gauge through the G and Wedgie, making Emu, Gen, AL, and UT. It's 26 points as opposed to the 15. Oh, Noah, yes. Yes, this is superb stuff. Great job, Noah. Nicely done. Wow. That's basically it. Wow, that's really special. Not many people spot that. So hats off to Noah for doing it. EOOQRST, the rack for Joey, and it feels like a natural exchange on this turn. The Q is just so clunky, even with options like Roost beneath JUN. For 29 points, I think it's better to exchange and keep the really powerful ERST or EORST combination. And Joey agrees. Andy, would you exchange two, or would you keep an O to stabilize this rack?
That is a tough decision. I'm okay with either of them. I think I would have exchanged just two, keeping the O just because the lines that are most accessible to Joey is the D and decimated, and that's a consonant. So you want to balance it out. But I'm very happy with Joey's decision, and it worked out fine for him.
It does. Joey's pulled into tethers, and he'll likely have good opportunities next turn. But Noah, AAAKORT, is our focus now. The R in Rude still available to play through. ARAK is a great play for Noah. It scores 27, and it plays off two of his three A's. Carrot, KARAT, is another play in the same spot. Or if Noah wants to look to another part of the board, you can play KATA beneath decimated, making Da, Et, and Car. But Carrot or Iraq look to be the standout plays here. Noah opts to score extra points, puts the T down. 30 points for Carrot gives Noah a 141 to 117 lead in a game where he's been out bingoed by Joey Krafchick.
I agree with Noah's decision here. Take the 3 extra points, get another tile to play to pull into one of the 4 unseen S's, the both of the blanks. I'm happy with that. And also, the T is going to be easier to bingo with versus sticking out a K in that position if he had just played Iraq.
Yeah, I think I agree. Take the points there, go dig in. And Joey just has this one playable bingo of tethers. 68 points for him will give him another modest lead in this game, 185 to 141. Noah would love to respond to the S that was just exposed by Joey, but he has an abysmal draw. AIIOOOR. One word that I know Noah knows to bail him out here is Arioso, ARIOSO. And again, just wasting absolutely no time. When your letters are this inflexible, that's like the only word you got, and you got to play it. CEEIINY, the post bingo draw for Joey. He has to know he's just narrowly dodged a bullet there. No possible scoring options for Noah, just 18 points on the punish. Joey's gotten away with one there, but he has found a rather inflexible rack. CEEIINY doesn't yield much. Get to put Joey's word knowledge on test a little bit. Hyenic is a pretty cool play for Joey. HYENIC. I don't know if it's the correct play for Joey, but definitely something for him to think about here. Dicey, DICEY, also plays down from the D and decimated. Another way to clean up this rack. Or if he's okay retaining double I's, then RYE down from the R in tethers, or AYE down from the A in carrot are both good options. But with 6 unseen eyes, I don't think those are things Joey wants to do. It should be 5 unseen eyes, I think. But still, those are not things Joey wants to do. You don't want to hold 2 eyes with 5 more coming. How would you approach this turn, Andy?
Well, you did a good job about the eyes. I like the play of Hyenic. It's the highest scoring. It turns over 5 letters. Noah just played 5, so in theory, he should be having a fairly random rack. And you can assume that, he may have kept an extra vowel or two because of his previous play of Arioso. So Hyenic scoring very well, keeping a good lead, playing 5 letters is what I would play. It's not going to work out if he does play it, but that's what I would lean towards here. But Dicey, also a good candidate play.
There's also potentially just TIYIN down from the T in tethers. It's just 16, but now I'm spooked by those eyes just staring at him. I know we're, I think, a little bit wrong on our unseen distribution. There's 5, not 6, but Still, I'm not getting caught up with eyes on this board in this situation. Tie-in makes some sense. Joey's going to play AYE here instead. And I mean, this is a good play. It scores well, but you don't want a third eye right now if you're Joey. And he's dodged it. Good pull for Joey there. Incited on his rack and EILNOSV on Noah's. Noah now trails by over 50 points, and some of Joey's other plays would have given Noah floaters for 8s, but Joey opting to play defense here exposes nothing, and Noah unable to bingo on this turn. He's going to have a tough choice to make. Somebody's got to open this board at some point, but neither one of these players seems particularly keen to do so. Noah's fine keeping things tight. He's got the S he needs to unlock bingo opportunities. But I don't know. This is going to be a really challenging turn for Noah. A bunch of similar options as well. Ooh, okay. Nod, the play for Noah. EILSV is a wonderful leave. The V is not a great bingo tile, but it synergizes really well with what he's kept. I like this idea from Noah. What say you, Andy?
I think that's a fantastic play. You keep it close. You keep a good leave. You keep your S for the Arios or the gent hook. I'm happy with it. And Joey's going to get his, third bingo. And Noah has yet to see a blank on either side. So,
yeah, when Joey drops his third bingo of the game, another natural, and draws 7 fresh tiles, it feels real bad if you're Noah, especially that you've missed on your 2-tile fish. This one's starting to slip away from Noah, though I can't say he's done anything wrong in this one. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. And Joey reaches into the bag, does pull out a blank, but also finds a lot of trouble, BBFGPU, to go with it. Ugh. Noah's got to make a big play here to claw back into this game. I think we're going to see him play to the E in Indicted. Olive for 36. Looks really nice. It dies to kind of stacks on top, which is really easy for Joey to play 3 tiles above this and block the lanes. But from an equity perspective, this play is so solid that I think Noah needs to play it. And holding the S to pluralize Arioso's next turn, I think he can survive a blocking plunk from Joey. So Olive for 36, and Joey now with his treble rack BBFGPU blank has to try to figure out if he's going to win this game with offense or with defense. I touched on Joey and how he's trying to be more Gibson-esque and play a lot of defense. But I don't see great defensive options here. Flub through the L in Olive looks okay. BPG blank as a leave does not, but every leave out of this rack is going to be gross. PFUI to the I in Indicted looks a little bit more like a standard equity play. BBG blank, the leave there, still not stellar. Or maybe you just exchange a bunch of tiles here, exchange 6 and hold a blank, go fishing for S's. I don't know. Andy, how would you approach this turn in Joey's situation?
Exchanging 6 is not out of the question. Joey's up by 70, which means he can take a bingo from Noah, and then, he'll keep a blank and good letters, and he'll still have control of this game. Flub is a fine standard play. I think Joey is going to take some time on this turn just to make sure that he shapes his board the way he wants the rest of this game to go.
Oh, this is a hard turn for Joey. Yeah, exchanging and trying to get all the goodies out of the bag makes sense. Flub is going to feel like such a flub if you don't do it, and then your opponent bingos through one of those floaters. The O, the L, the I are central floaters, as we saw Wellington Jagere, the former world champion, use that term. They're extra dangerous because you can bingo down to them, from them, or if they're anywhere in the middle of the word, like any 8 you draw with any of those tiles will fit. So you really want to block those if you can, if you're Joey. And he opts to do that not with Flub, but with Golf here. Similar plays that do similar things, but he's going to hold on to the BBP combination instead. Golf, the block from Joey.
Noah has a tough decision now. He can plop down XI underneath tethers for 52, but that would kill his valuable S hook on Arioso. The other option is he could play Lux on top of Olive, and he's probably going to think about that's about 15 points of sacrifice, and he's going to take some time here, very understandably, to debate if he wants those 15 points now and kill his S line or play Lux.
This is a huge decision for Noah, and you see the look on his face. He knows it too. Lux is a really nice option, but anytime you can score 52 with the X, kind of feels like you need to. The problem, though, is after you play XI, you're still trailing. There's pretty much nowhere left to bingo on the board, and you just kind of lose. You lose close, but you lose. So, in this situation, as hard as it is, I feel like Lux is the play I would make. But Noah is opting to play XI here, thinking maybe I can find some relief later on. Maybe I can shape this board, or maybe I can find a 9 through IA at the top of this board or something. XI, the decision from Noah. Makes it
It's a tough
267,
decision.
299. Go ahead.
It's a tough decision. I'm happy with either of them. There is that V line in Olive to start with the V. I think XI is good just to, it's early in the tournament. Even if you can't pull out this game, cutting spread is still of tremendous value.
Yeah, and cutting spread definitely happens there.
And
So,
I'm not suggesting that Noah has given up on this game. He is still very much in this game. I think XI is a tough decision over Lux, and it's a coin flip.
XI just scores so well. It's 15 more, so maybe you do need those points. It's a really hard turn, but in any case, Joey also with a really hard turn. I know he's seen every word in the lexicon, but he has one that's really hard to play right now. The bingo that Joey has on this turn, there's just the one, uses the E in tethers. The word is bebopper, Bebopper. And I think Joey has seen it and is sitting there looking off into space like, oh my God, is this good or am I making this up completely? But bebopper is acceptable and plays for 76 right here. I don't even know if you can play bebopper if it's good because A, pub is such a solid play, and B, you open a triple triple in a game where you have good control. But Joey does not play bebopper. Whether he saw it and bypassed it, saw it and chickened out, or never saw it at all is to be determined. But Joey, with the opportunity to play a 2B, 2P bingo, instead plays pub for 21.
I think Joey was 95% sure on bebopper, but he's in control of this game, and pub is a good consolation prize. I think if he had nothing else to play, he would have pulled the trigger on bebopper. And you could see he was thinking about it. I'm pretty certain he was very certain on the play. And to be honest, bebopper, even if he was 100%, maybe you pass that up and play. I would have played bub instead of pub because I think the P is a little bit more flexible, especially with the XI play, just because maybe you don't want to open down that part of the board because he's still up. Where is Noah going to bingo this turn?
Yeah, no, pub is such a great defensive play for Joey. The leave is so solid. And I mean, again, even if bebopper is good, I don't know that you play it. So if Joey's even 95%, as you put it, Andy, then you can't pull the trigger on that play. A tough situation for Joey, though. It's always it feels so good to flex on the stream and drop that down. It feels so bad to blow a game on the stream because you tried to flex on the stream, though. Not at a nationals. PEH comes down for Noah, and whoever gets the big play beneath this likely wins the game. But it's becoming desperation time for Noah. He needs to put up a prayer like this, and unfortunately for him, he's pulled consonants, and Joey's got a great rack. And Boaster, the play from Joey, he's not. Geez, he's just putting this down quickly. There can't be anything that scores better than this, I think. Yeah, there's not. Boaster, 85 points, the only bingo that Joey has playing beneath Peh, and he spotted it in under a minute. 85 points and GG, I think, on that play. Joey's
Well,
fourth bingo.
it's time for Noah to still put his head in this game and cut some spread. If he can make the spread less than 80, I think he can consider this a well-played game considering he got out-bingoed 4-0. So I expect Noah to keep playing his best game, best end game scenario here and try to cut the spread. Because as we saw with last year's Nationals, spread is just as valuable as a win in these long tournaments with a playoff.
Definitely. All right. So 6 tiles in the bag for Noah now. We think, I think probably slew or something similar, making boasters is what we're going to see here. He needs to score well enough that if he draws a bingo next turn, it will win him the game. There are some things working to his advantage right now, an unseen QVW. If Joey has some of those on his rack, then Noah's out bingo will score an insane amount of points once you capture those off of Joey's rack. So he's not 100% done yet. He needs to score well, draw a bingo, and hope Joey pulls the Q as one of the last 2 tiles out of the bag next turn. But I think if you're Noah, trying to play off 4 tiles here, leave 2 in the bag is about the right pace for what you want to do this game. I don't know. He's going to have to look at specific things to fish for in this instance as well. Tough turn for Noah. He's going to use most of the remainder of his clock here, as this is the last turn he'll get to make any kind of impact on the outcome of the game.
Noah also has the last E in this game, and I bet that's weighing on his decision. You look at the unseen pool, very unfriendly to possible bingos. Now he's going to need enormous amount of luck, as you mentioned. He's going to need specific tiles to be in the bag, and he has to pick a specific subset of them to leave things like Q, V for Joey to pick up. That being said, I think Slew or Sohn has to come down here just to open up even a Hail Mary lane, score well to get within range, and see what happens.
You've got to score. You've got to try to create a second opportunity for yourself on this board, even if it's marginal. And you can't let Joey play 2 tiles and leave 1 or 2 in the bag, I think, as well. You need to make Joey empty and then bingo out to win this game. I think a 4-tile play, or maybe even a 5-tile play, is the best course of action here for Noah.
And he's wisely using the time that he's banked throughout the game. That's why they play fast in the beginning, not because they want to move on to the next game, but because they know, these guys know that when it comes down to the end game, they can map out mathematically every single possible route and game plan for that. And that's what Noah's doing. You could see he's thinking about, what am I likely to draw? How can I get this game and win this game despite getting out bingoed 4-0?
It's so impressive that Noah has any sliver of winning when a player as good as Joey bingos on you 4 times and you bingo 0 times. But just a testament to how well he's been fighting this game, trying to create opportunities for himself. He's got to do it one last time here. I think instead of slew, SEWN might be a little bit more dangerous. I don't know if bingoing to the EW combination or the WN combination is more lucrative for Noah in this situation. Playing off the E can't feel good no matter what he does, because it is the last E. But I think you have to do that to keep the appropriate scoring pressure on in this situation.
Exactly. Noah's got to think, like, ideally, what do I draw out of this bag? A blank, an A, an I, and, any other letter that's not the Q. And we know what's on Joey's rack. We know that it's possible that Noah can pull into the blank, another vowel, and some good stuff. So this is going to be very interesting. If Noah gets exactly his wish list, we will have a fantastic finish here.
Noah needs a blank and not a Q to keep this one interesting. The Q eliminates any chance he has to bingo. And the blank obviously needed to bingo and to keep it off Joey's rack. Will he find it? There's an N, there's a blank, and a V, and a Q. And that is all she wrote for this one, or so it seems.
Kudos to Noah. He fought there until the very end, and it was an uphill battle no matter what, but he can still be proud. He played a fantastic game. Joey played a fantastic game as well. He made the right plays. Bebopper versus Pub, honestly, not that big of an error. I think if we simmed it, I think they would probably come close to each other, and maybe not bingoing may actually be slightly better. I don't know what the computer thinks, but fantastic game by both sides in this strategic game.
Looks like we have our unseen pool wrong just a little bit, but while this game looks over from our POV, it is not over from Joey's. This is actually crazy. So unseen is the 7 tiles on Noah's rack plus AI to Joey. We'll try to get that unseen pool updated if we can, but unseen to Joey, Noah's 7 tiles, A and I. So if VQ are in the bag, or even one of those is in the bag, Joey's suddenly in a tricky situation here. He's set up Fibula, his highest scoring option, but he needs to go through and figure out, okay, if I play Fibula and I draw VQ, what is Noah's highest scoring out bingo, and I win? If I play Fibula and I draw Q and a vowel, and he's able to hit a higher scoring bingo with the Q, or with the V rather, can I still win? Joey's got to do some math here, and this is too complicated for me to figure out. I'm more focused on trying to get our team to update the unseen pool. But again, the 7 on Noah's rack, A and I, unseen to Joey.
I think Joey's going to do the math. Fibula is going to push his lead from 78 to 111. The V and the Q plus the I and the O on his rack is going to give Noah 32. So 111 minus 32 is what? 21. So 79. So can Noah get 79 points? And I don't see any bingo that actually scores 79. So I think Joey will do the math, realize that he will win 100% of the time with Fibula, and plop it down. But he has to be careful not to lose to any bingos where maybe it's Q and a vowel in the bag and Noah has a bingo with a V and score more. So, but Joey's going to do the math as he has the time to do, and I have no doubt he's going to make the correct play here.
Yeah, it's possible that Noah could have a high scoring like Vervains, Vervains, from Joey's POV. That would be 80, and Joey would pick up the Q as well. But even Vervains would not quite be enough. Joey would hang on and win by 5 if that sequence of events occurred. So that's what Joey's doing here. Also, probably trying to count up, is there any awful, nightmarish 9-letter bingo through the IA that cashes in the V? But Joey's just trying to convert a 98% into 100% and feels that Fibula does indeed does do the deed for him. Fibula the play for Joey. He's going to reach in and grab 2 vowels anyway and realize, oh, I had this all along. So NNQRSV blank, Noah's last rack in this game, a game in which he has been out bingoed 4-0 and will lose by probably less than 100 points when it's all said and done. Good effort from him. We do have one more game today, and that final game of the day is going to be one of the 2 players who has won this event before, Joe Edley, up against the only woman in the field, Chloe Fatsis. That's going to be a good one as well.
Oh, that is such a gift of a game for Game 7 to conclude the evening. Fantastic. Both of those fine folks are fantastic players, so definitely stick around. And what is Noah going to do here on this play? He has the QI dump for 35, but he's probably, you got to look at that and think, like, that can't be the best play from an outplay situation. So Noah taking his time. You can't take that time with you, so might as well use it and think about what the best thing to do here is.
This just the sad story of the game. Noah with all consonants on his rack, Joey with all vowels on his rack. The classic can we trade tiles situation in Scrabble? But alas, that's just how it's been. I think this is the first game we've had where it kind of felt like it got out of hand early, and still Noah did a great job clawing at every straw he could until the very last turn, making life difficult for Joey. This is what good players do. They don't roll over and die. Even when you get lucky early, they seem to keep the board alive enough with enough opportunity to catch back in. And while Noah couldn't convert this one, just a testament to who he is as a player, as a thinker, and how good he can be. No bingos, kept it tight the whole way. While we have another lull in the play as Noah tries to figure out this in-game sequence, I do want to do another round of my thank yous. There are so many thank yous to go around at a major event like this. The Scrabble Players Championship is the biggest event in North America every year. And the big thank you that I'm going to give this go around is the people who really put this stream together. I get a lot of the glory, the FaceTime. You guys are stuck listening to my voice, but I do very little of the hard work. The heavy lifting is done by Christian K and Andrew, our dynamic duo on the ground. They do so much prep work beforehand. They do so much on the scenes. Their grasp on technology is so good. And Christian is a whiz at troubleshooting. I've had just about every error I could possibly have this morning, and he has kept the ship navigated and running. He is an absolute asset and a gem to the game. Christian and Andrew both. I hope you're blushing right now. If anybody sees them in South Bend or around, make sure you buy them a coffee or a juice box or something like that, because they do so much wonderful work for us. So hats off to you, Christian and Andrew, the real MVPs of the stream. I just sit here and talk. For those of you tuning into the stream, this is just day one of the 5-day Scrabble Players Championship. 5 days of Scrabble action across 31 rounds will determine the North American champions in both the NWL and CSW lexicon. All 5 days are going to be streamed right here on Twitch. All 5 days are going to bring me, Matt Canik, in the commentary booth, and I have a stellar team of co-commentators rotating through across this event. I'm really blessed to be able to pick on all the different people and their wisdom. Very thankful to have Andy Hoang in the booth with us today. Andy was on the entrance list for this tournament for a while, but alas, medical school, keeps a person busy, and Andy had to drop out of this one. But grateful that we could get you some nationals exposure, Andy. Thanks for being here.
Well, it's my pleasure. It's always good to have this game that brings us all together throughout the year, and of course with the big events in the summertime. Would have loved to have been there at this fantastic venue, but maybe another year.
Maybe another year is right. Every year I tell myself I'm not missing the next nationals. Every time I sit here and do commentary or watch somebody else do commentary, I see the big playing room, the hundreds of Scrabblers, the 31 games, all the pictures, all the boards, the new words I learn. I always tell myself I'm never missing another one. And then life happens and I'm still $200,000 in debt from getting my doctorate. And, here we are in the booth again. But such a cool event, such a cool atmosphere. If you've never been to a nationals before, get yourself to an SPC. I think the venue for next year has not yet been announced, but often they announce it during or near a nationals. So perhaps we'll have some news by the end of this one. I don't know.
Certainly hope so. I think the idea is that the South region is what they're looking at next. A lot of candidate cities have submitted bids to NASPA about hosting nationals for next year, and hopefully we get an announcement by Labor Day. That's what I would recommend the organizers. But again, it's so complicated, so much work. You've done a good job thanking Art and the executive committee and the championship committee for putting on this annual event. They do such a fantastic job with organizing and making sure everything runs smoothly. Given last or yesterday's chaotic events with all the flight cancellations, it is tremendous to see that this event is still moving forward with, without too many hiccups. So we thank all the organizers. And of course, we thank you, Matt. You're here all 5 days putting in the work to make this game so much more accessible to those at home and of those around the world. So you have definitely made your mark in the Scrabble community through your generosity and your tremendous work.
I just don't know why they keep asking me back. Surely there's more talented people out there they could pick, but I'm thankful to be here on the headset to keep you all entertained for all 5 days. And the number of people I've met who come up to me and say, "Oh, I love your commentary," or "You brought me into the game." It's super cool. I tell myself every year I'll do this for free, and I don't actually do this for free now, so it gives me some money. But I would happily do this for free if I bring even one new person to a Scrabble tournament. I love this game. I love all the possibilities and outcomes, combinations, the prep, the people who play this game. And I cannot more strongly encourage anybody out there on the fence about playing in a Scrabble tournament to take a leap of faith. Google NASPA, hop on cross-tables, just search for that. There's all kinds of Scrabble going on around you. There are major tournaments like these 5-day tournaments. There are 1 and 2-day tournaments if you're looking for something more bite-sized. Most major cities in the US have at least one sanctioned Scrabble club that meets about once a week for 3 or 4 games. There is a lot of Scrabble out there. There's a lot of Scrabble on the internet now as well. I feel like we're getting a second golden era in Scrabble where all of a sudden now you can watch it almost every day with streamers, with tournament coverage. So I love Scrabble and I'm thankful and happy to be here. I hope y'all love Scrabble just as much as I do. And if you don't love Scrabble yet, I hope some of my love of the game rubs off on you and you consider coming out to some of these events. Such a cool sport. So many incredible people who play this game at all sorts of different levels as well. But something that just keeps on giving and giving and giving. And I'm fortunate to have spent a good chunk of my life around this scene as you have as well, Andy.
Well, thank you. Taking a peek at the Division One standings while this game is wrapping up, Mark Gerard has won 5 games in a row, and he has climbed up into the top 10. Mark Gerard from Michigan, nearby Michigan. So keep an eye out. Very early in the tournament. Always fun to see who does well on day one and if they can keep up the momentum. And of course, who are the people who surge in the back half of the tournament to make a late push. So again, 4 more days of fantastic Scrabble. And of course, we will close this evening with a fantastic game between Joe Edley and Chloe Fatsis, a true generational battle.
Yeah, man, that generational is right. Chloe, one of the new guard in Scrabble, she has come up so hot and so fast over the years, really capitalized on the whole being in college and having a global pandemic thing to get really solid on the words. And Joe Adley, just a giant of the game, winning nationals in the 1970s and 1980s and the 2000s, like in 3 different decades, maybe a 4th one if he has a great showing here as well. Yeah, the old guard and the new guard coming right here. Let's cut to the overhead mic and see what we can capture from these guys. Probably not much.
No headphones. No headphones or anything.
You're audible.
Right. Okay.
They can hear you.
Yeah, I saw Bebopper, but wasn't 100% sure. I kept looking at the alphagram, and it just looked so funny. But I was also worried about if I played, yeah, I'm up a lot, but I'll have to draw the Q possibly, and he's gonna bingo back. It could have got dicey, so this was at least lower variance, so to speak. But can't miss bingos.
I actually felt kind of good playing that.
Slew left flip.
NRS.
Oof.
I guess I didn't notice until now. I could have played like Hume, or maybe like Wen. I don't know. Keeping the E could be really good.
What number are you?
2, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean here.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. That's how I'm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
But yeah, this I passed up Tenidia or whatever because there's just no point of giving you the. I mean, the C there isn't that great, but yeah. I figured it was kind of likely that this kind of thing would happen. It's like you use this spot, and then I can. But this was interesting. I left B, PP blank, so that was kind of tough. But I didn't want to play like flub and give you the S hook, so
Great.
I played that. Thankfully, there's no Ys left, but otherwise I might not have played that. Gosh, missed a bingo. Well, at least I saw it. Missed a pussy. But yeah, it's.
I mean, your play could be better.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, airlift or whatever. If I see that alphagram, it's not doing me much help because he says like there's nothing else it could be. But anyway, all right, let's square them up.